Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Five of Discs, which kind of has everything to do with worry. Now, don't be worried that the card is about worrying. We're going to look and see what these tea leaves have to add to that, and we'll see what's going on. Okay, and so if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And it is free to subscribe. Okay. So the first thing I really am seeing kind of stand out is we have a plane. And so we have this large amount of stuff going on, and we're going to look at that more closely. But we also have this plane, and it seems like it's kind of zooming away from all of that. So I do feel like there is a sense of wanting to get away, maybe even a plan in place to move away, to move to the next thing, to kind of cut ties and move forward. And so I'm also looking at this and seeing that the plane is going to the left here. Okay. If it's going to the left, I usually think it's not always this way, but often, right? This is the past. This is the future. So I feel like this almost feels like kind of a loss to you or a setback. Okay. Like you tried really hard here. You had your, you put all of your effort into it, had the best intentions. Things haven't seemed to have gone your way, right? And so now you're kind of starting over, or you're leaving the situation. And we're talking about the Five of Discs. So this could definitely have something to do with maybe like a work situation. Maybe you are in a position that it's not really for you. You're not getting the kind of hours you need or the pay or, whatever it is. I mean, so many things, right? So I could see why it would feel chaotic, right? And trying to find some footing there, but it really isn't. It doesn't seem to be living up to your expectations, or at least a vision that you had. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to look deeper into this area over here. Okay, so I want to point out that we have an L, we have a K, we have some of the T. Go down there. I see a hook. There's a hook, like a fishing hook right here. So I do think that you have been looking for, that way to make resources for yourself. Something that really makes sense. It's lucrative. And I feel like, I feel like this really, for some reason, is really coming through to me. Is this sense of maybe moving away from your family to do this work, or this work has kind of taken you from being with your family as much as you'd like to be. And particularly, it feels like a mother figure. I feel like I just feel this deep sense of missing your mother. And this is where the kind of payoff isn't there. It seems like you're putting so much of yourself into this. It's not working out how you wanted it to. And you're in your mind, I can see, like, kind of weighing, like, is this worth me being away from everybody that I love? Now I'm seeing some ribbons here. So I'm almost wondering if there is some kind of health issue with this family member, or somebody in the family, somebody close, because this is right in the core area right here. Okay, so some kind of health issue, and I think that's another factor. Now we have a little house here, and you can see kind of this diamond shape. This is the house, and then we also have a person here that has a hook. We also have a person here that looks like they're holding some kind of something, and it feels like there's almost kind of a fight on, right? And it's kind of, I think, destabilizing the household. And I think that there's a lot of stress. The money stuff isn't where it should be. Your vision of what you wanted this to be like, your minutes and your hours are being kind of just taken. And I feel like you're missing out on, this family life that you really would like to be a part of more actively. And so I think it's causing this internal struggle, worry, right? We have that worry. The anxiety is really there. And I think it's affecting your maybe romantic relationship, your spouse partner. If you're single, maybe this is you feeling kind of distant from yourself, right? Just kind of really not doing the things that you usually like to do, and feeling how you usually do when you're happy to meet the morning and get up and get out there and live your life. And now it's kind of like, I got myself in this situation. It's so much. I don't know how to change it exactly, but I really know that it's not sustainable, right? And so, I really want to pause here and just say, a big congratulations for even noticing this, really. I mean, how often do we go through large parts of our life just like really pushing ourselves to endure that which is really kind of hollowing us out spiritually. And then it gets you emotionally, physically. And there's there's this idea that there's some kind of pridefulness and just absolutely eking out a life, right? And it doesn't mean you have to like it, but hey, at least I did it, right? Well, of course, we all have to do things we don't want to do. We all have had jobs that we don't want to have. We've all had, bills and debt and things that we have to take care of. And, we've all had times in our lives where, we've not had as much time as we'd like for ourselves, for our family, and so on. But, you know, at some point, you start to look and think, how many years has this been going on? Do I get that back? No. No. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know how time really works. I don't know. It could be that we're in a loop, and maybe you can make some different choices. I don't know. But I think it's when we really start to hit that point, and it's like the sooner the better, in my opinion, right? And when we have those moments where we think, okay, I'm gonna change now, right now. And if you're like me, if I don't do something pretty immediately, I'll settle back into the lull of actively not, choosing anything, just kind of keeping on the path there. And, I've really had to get into this place where it's like doing the thing I don't want to do, even if I know it's the thing I really want to do. But immediately it's just so much more work, or it's scary. It's scary to quit a job. It's scary to pick up and move. It's scary to decide to do something else. And here's the thing. I know that you're already busy. I know that you're burnt, right? You're burnt out, and you already don't have time for family and everything else. And I get this. And here I am going to add something else to your plate, or at least an idea. And this is when I am feeling like I can't make a decision. I'm too tired to even think about doing all the stuff I have to do if I make this choice. But at the same time, I'm scared, because what if it doesn't work out? The thing that really helps me is learning something. And it might sound silly, but taking the time to learn like a new skill, it could be anything. For me, I really like learning how to fix things around the house, because they're not usually, depending on what it is, not usually that hard to figure out. There's tons of YouTube stuff, tutorials, or whatever your chosen platform is, and you learn something that's useful. Okay. The one example I really like to use in the readings, and if you've been with me here on the channel for a while, I use this one whenever we're talking about let's learn something new. If you don't know how to make a fire, go learn how to do that. Like a camping fire, right? Do it safely, though. I know you might be in an area where you can't burn outside. And so please definitely follow, the guidelines of your area. But, this is a really, it's the most basic thing that we can learn, and we should all know, just in case, we ever need to know, or hey, just in case you start camping or something, or you want to wow everybody around you, learn how to make a fire and do it well, right? Get it really going, and make lots of the embers and coals and things. And it's also a fun process. It's a fun ritual. If you've never sat and looked at a fire outside, like sat with your camping chairs and all of that and just looked at it, just stared at the fire, you will appreciate it. But the point really is that when I'm feeling a little bit disenfranchised, or like I am losing my power, like I don't know what to do, and I am totally burnt out, tired, can't even begin to think of one more big thing to take on, I learned something. It makes me feel good about myself. It makes me feel good about life. It is helpful. I get a little something done. It doesn't have to be a big project, you know. Recently I learned how to, clean out the sinks and stuff, get the hair out of there. I didn't know how to do that really. Found out it was pretty easy. So, yes, definitely. Now, we also have a couple of hearts that I'm seeing. Okay, so I really think that all of this really comes from a place where love is the ultimate thing. We have a heart here. We have a heart here. We have a heart here. And also we have a cute cat right here. I want to talk about the cat too. I feel like you have a cat companion of some kind. If it's physical, if this is some kind of totem or like spirit animal, I feel like there's a cat in your presence. And if, maybe even this was a cat from when you were young, a kid. Maybe this is like a neighborhood cat. Maybe you have a cat sitting in your lap right as we are listening to this. I don't know. But there is the presence of a cat here. And I'm looking at this heart in particular, and there really is this feeling of being, drawn, a little bit forlorn and wanting. And so I feel like, and I'm a romantic. This is something else you'll figure out about me if you stick around here long enough. I feel like it's, this is as close to your true will as it can get. You are a person who is driven by your heart. Okay, and it's not necessarily always romantic, but I think that you just love things so deeply. You have deep interests. You have deep family ties. You have a chosen family, friends group. Your animal companions. You're a person who is very thoughtful and has a big heart. I mean, just generally has a big heart. And so I could see why, if you were doing something, if you found yourself in a situation, in a relationship, if you were in a relationship where you felt really isolated, or like you couldn't be yourself, right? Like you had a jealous significant other, and they really didn't like, and let's just face it, a lot of Tauruses are very kind of extroverted people. They didn't like that. They didn't want you going out and being around people or friends or talking to other people or whatever. I feel like this would crush your soul, right? So and I'm not saying that's the situation, but this is what comes to mind. And so I think you will do what you have to do to get back to that place of love. Okay. And I think a lot of it does have to do with that mother figure. I really feel when I close my eyes right now and I'm thinking, it just really is emanating the heart of the mother. Okay. And I don't know if it's that you are going to go be with your mother, or you're really missing your mother. But there is a bond there. Even if you don't get along, there's like just this deep bond. You are your mother's child for sure. Yeah, and I think that you're going to have to do what you have to do. Even if it's something that is, it seems counterintuitive, right, to every decision you've been making. Here's the thing too. I think with Taurus people, it's like if you back them into a corner and have them, and I'm not saying anybody could do that to you, but you do it to yourself, right? You break your own heart sometimes. But you get yourself into a corner. You're doing stuff you just don't you don't believe in, you don't care for. You know, it's tedious, it's hollow, it's, you know, whatever. I feel like on some other aspect of your life, it amplifies this need to kind of act out, to do something to balance everything out. And then this is where we get into places that risky behaviors, or just absolutely going off the deep end with things. Like, you know, instead of like systematically deciding and planning and, you know, doing things in a way that kind of makes sense to you, it just isn't, you know, kind of like, whew, kind of a big blow up there. So, yeah, I think it's important for you to look at this realistically. And I think making a plan, to figure out what you need to do, what you can live with, what you can't. You know, nobody needs to hear it. You don't have to think about, well, what does so-and-so think? Or, you know, this is what I should be doing. This is, you know, this was perfect on paper. I should love this. Well, no, if you don't, you have to be honest with yourself. Okay. So, you know, make that pros and cons list and be honest. It's not for anybody but you. Okay, let's see. What do we have? What do we have? Now we have, I'll tell you what we have. We have a person who's standing, you can see, and it looks like they are looking upwards, okay? And the stars again, always with the stars. And it's a good time of year to be looking at them. When you get a clear sky, ooh, beautiful. I love well, in the northern hemisphere, and maybe in the southern hemisphere, it's really beautiful too. But here in the north, where it is very cold right now, when you get a clear sky, it is so crisp. So much of the moisture is out of the lower atmosphere, and so you can just see right through everything into that beautiful crystally sky, and it's gorgeous. So, you know, and I think this is partly why you're here. You're looking to the stars, you know, your tarot readings, your tea leaf readings, your zodiac, whatever it is, and you're looking for some kind of answer, okay? And this is it. This is your sign. This is the sign that you've been looking for, okay? It's okay to do the thing that doesn't make sense. It's okay to do the thing that, you know, it counteracts all that you've worked on so far. It's okay to give up. It's okay to fail at something. It's okay to move on if you think that's going to be better for you, okay? And I say this with the greatest amount of love and support and non-judgment. And I hope that you are able to find that same kind of internal dialogue for yourself, right? To treat yourself the exact same way without condition. That's important, okay? All right, now let's take a look at the Mary Magdalene Oracle cards from Megan Watterson and illustrations by Moonjube. And I'm going to move you over there. I'm going to flip through. Oops, I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to flip it over. It says 7. Vision comes from within. I love these cards so much. They're so beautiful. I wish you could see them in person. They're so pretty. You can easily find them, though. I think even on here it has like the... Well, I told you what they were called. But they're just perfect. And I'm a big geek for Mary Magdalene. I love, in my room I have a beautiful icon of her. And so yes, that is the energy right now, definitely in my heart, mind, and soul. So, yeah, Taurus, I want to tell you I love you so much. Of course, the water's going to start. I forgot to turn you off. Little water filter things right over here. I love you so much. I thank you for spending this time with me. It really is an honor. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all, and they mean a lot to me. And sometimes it takes me a little while to heart them, but I do read them, and I don't comment as much as I used to. I try to, but my goodness, it's the growth of both my channel and especially my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot, Paul over there. If you haven't, TT, come here. If you haven't watched his readings, please go check him out. He's amazing. I am biased. I will just mention that he's my husband, but he's amazing. He really is. If I was looking for a tarot reader, it would be him, definitely. But what else? Yeah, it just is. It's gotten really busy, and yeah. But I do read them, and I love you all. I really do. I have such. Yeah, it's funny how many people I've met in the last year through the channel, and people they feel like family. Okay, so all are welcome here, and you all do become family, really. So yes, again, I love you. We'll talk in a few days. TT says goodbye, good night. She needs her pets. Yeah, flap your ears. All right, goodbye. Say goodbye, T.